Hello and welcome back to the Pub Test Podcast. Hi, my name is Fletcher. And
That could be a surprise. I hadn't got my headphones on yet.
I caught you off guard.
Not here to be intimate with spiders, Fletcher.
I was not expecting that from you. Of all people.
I'm following the James Sicily thing here, and it said Hawthorn didn't waste any time asking James Sicily if his name was James Sicily. They're not here to be intimate with the proverbial spider. That's on like the feed. That's what got me the idea.
You know, it's like a saying.
I know, not how to have sex. Yeah, fuck spiders. I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, no.
But
fair enough. They went with that too.
Yeah, that gave me the idea. I copied them.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'd been interested to ask your name.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure out what that means.
Maybe it's just legal jargon.
Like, it's not a lie detector test. So I don't really get it. But there you go.
Maybe last year that's how they're closing off loopholes because Paddy Cripps got these little loophole going there.
I reckon Carlton lawyers could get some people off murder. I reckon they got Ted Bundy off, to be honest. Like, it's actually incredible. But there you go. I'm not here
I was
to
going to say something bad there, but I won't say that. Good round of footy.
It was another good round. We're getting a nice stretch of rounds.
Oh, some freaking awesome rounds of footy, let's be honest here. You're very happy. Kind of lost, but you're very happy Carlton keeps losing, aren't you?
Footy's great when Carlton. Let's be real. Footy's good when Carlton wins, but as a Collingwood supporter, it's very great when they can't lose. But yes, Collingwood suffered a loss, but not panicking. We'll talk about that game. Oh, pardon me, a bit gassy.
Getting a bit addicted to it.
Pardon?
You're getting a bit addicted to Carlton losing.
Yeah, oh yeah. So honestly, Collingwood losing doesn't matter when Carlton loses. So it's injected in my veins.
Love it. Winners and losers, pick one.
Gee, well, which one were you going with?
Whichever one you
I'm going to go Sydney. And
as a loser.
We'll start with losers. Yeah, let's start negative. Let's change
Fair
that.
enough. Just being a down mood, everyone.
Yeah, let's start down. Feel the gusto's up. Let's put the mood down.
Oh, fair enough.
But for me, there are bigger losers, and you'll touch on them. But for me, Sydney is the biggest loser because in Buddy's 350th, you're a side that's just coming off a grand final. You're playing a side that is severely out of form. Now, maybe you can make a case that St Kilda are probably regressing back to where we thought they'd be, but they haven't played well.
Not a good football side though. If they're regressing back to where they thought they doesn't mean they're a good football side.
Absolutely. To go scoreless in the first quarter of a marquee Thursday night footy game, Buddy's 350th, that is
not a behind.
Not even a point. But that is inexcusable.
Not even a rush behind.
Nothing. Zero, Fletcher. Goose eggs, mate. Nothing. So that's why they're my biggest loser.
Fair enough.
Any little chance of finals is officially gone. They are not making finals.
You thought like Dame Ramsey coming back.
Yeah, that's why I tipped him. And they're at home as well.
I told you not to tip him.
They're at home, man.
Did you not hear my prediction?
They're at home.
I said
SCG.
Max King 5 goals. Not quite there. St Kilda win.
But that's a disappointing performance, and that probably sums up their season to date. So, bye-bye finals. And, yeah.
Friday night footy, or not Friday night.
Thursday.
Footy under lights at SCG, dead.
Yeah, it's a bit yucky, isn't it? It's just not a great spectacle.
It just seems to be hard to play there at night. I don't know why.
It's weird to watch on TV as well. I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of it, but
I
wasn't a big fan of the spectacle of footy either. The two teams put on
trash. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. Isaac Heaney. What do you think about his game?
I couldn't even take the stats, but
16 disposals.
Yeah, did he play midfield?
I don't know, but he got 16 and played midfield.
Let me look at the CBA attendances.
He had 6 tackles, 8 handballs, 8 kicks.
Because he had a good couple of weeks.
He did, but when the matters the most, didn't really do much.
So if my computer would start loading here, I'd be able to tell you if he played midfield.
I don't think he made it. I think he started playing midfield.
The fact that I didn't notice him much tells me he didn't play much midfield, but then again...
He started in there in the third quarter, I know that. But I don't reckon he played there much in the first half. But aside from that, like, your team didn't score in the first quarter. You as a forward, as the marquee forward, put your head in it.
Absolutely.
Find a way to get a friggin' mark.
It's a thing. He's a downhill skier, and this does not help his case.
Oh, no,
Here we go.
It doesn't help his case.
Isaac Heaney, CBAs, high, 76% of CBAs. So, it was up. Didn't see much in the midfield.
Surely get him out of the midfield and get him forward.
Problem is, he's been playing forward all year and been bad. So,
but who else is going to kick goals from? Tell me another person.
He hasn't been kicking goals anyway.
He's the only one that scares me a little bit. Buddy, old, doesn't scare me.
Papley hasn't looked the same. So it's strange. So Swans season done, and we thought that they'd buck the trend of heavy grand final loss sides.
Oh, it's
being
scary,
bad.
isn't it?
Nope, they're another victim. So there you go.
It's scary to think that.
So to think that when come a grand final time, not only the embarrassment of get whacked in the grand final, if for example calling them at the grand final get absolutely whacked, not only are you sad they've lost the grand final, you're sad that they're going to be bad next year. They're confirmed being bad next year. So it doesn't matter. Collingwood's already got the thing engraved, so it doesn't matter. But not Sydney big loser for me. Fletcher, who's your biggest loser?
My biggest loser was Brisbane.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to put Hawthorn biggest winner or Sydney biggest loser. That's the only problem. We'll stick with.
No, I'm happy Brisbane being a loser.
Now it was a Saturday morning game. Just kick the Jew off the field.
You love to kick the Jew off. It was an afternoon game, but they kicked the Jew off the ground for the Freo game at night.
110. And I listened to the build up, and all the build up was about the record of Brisbane at the MCG.
Yeah,
and you can't. I know it's Hawthorn, but just get that in and make sure that after that there's no talk about you losing at MCG, and they fucked it up.
Yep.
They absolutely cocked it up against Hawthorn. Had been good. Let's not put it against them there, but just come in and win that.
Yes.
Like finish that business off, get back to the Gabba, then your massive numbers of you've lost the last 13 in a row at the MCG just can't be there because you've won one, even though it's Hawthorn, but you just can't start that number, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is a big loss. They got smashed around the midfield too. I'm going to talk about them later, Hawthorn. So I don't want to talk about them too much. Brisbane, but they got smacked. Everywhere you look, they got smacked.
It's becoming an MCG problem, not an away problem. Their record at Marvel is not bad.
No.
It's an MCG problem. And Fagan's press conference was weird as well. Like it's becoming a genuine roadblock. And Hawthorn have definitely threatened good size this year. So, but just the fact,
they were 20 points up Brisbane at one point in halfway through the third quarter, and they lost by 20. So it's a 40-point swing to a bottom three side.
Yep. It
wasn't like Hawthorn were up all day and just maintained a 20-point lead. They swung the game 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's
concerning.
Like
it's absolutely, and Brisbane's been building up a nice little resume, credentials, and this is a step back without a doubt. And it's making me. I said last week they have finished top two. I think that's even more the case now.
Yeah.
They're just not winning at the G.
But then that means grand final's not going to happen.
Yeah, but for me this is seriously concerning. But they're still my top three sides. But this is not a great.
The top three anywhere else. Well, not anywhere else, but if that gave with that top three, anywhere else you kind of go, not top three. Biggest winner? Your biggest winner?
Gee, who did I have my biggest winner? Hang on, let me have a look.
We had Richmond or Hawthorn, but
we'll talk Hawthorn later, so I'll save Hawthorn. For me, this pains me to say this, Fletcher Berryman. I'm going to say it's Melbourne.
You're going to say it's Melbourne?
Yep. Richmond could have been up there. But I'm going to say Melbourne.
Richmond.
I'm going to say Melbourne. They dominated the game.
They were very good.
They dominated. I saw the first 10 minutes, which probably some of the best champagne footy you'll see all year from Collingwood. Outside of that, Melbourne dominated. And I think the scoreboard flatters Collingwood.
Yeah.
I think
definitely.
the most concerning thing for me from a Collingwood supporter, but the most pleasing thing from a Melbourne supporter is I haven't seen Collingwood bomb long out of defence like that all year. And I haven't seen that like that for 2 years. Collingwood just bomb long to an outnumber all day. And Melbourne pride themselves on their defence and their structure behind the footy, and literally all day was 3-on-4, 4-on-5, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, all day. And it allowed Stephen May, Lever, Tomlinson, Gawn, Grundy to do whatever the hell they wanted behind the footy. So, kind of looked a bit off. Be happy to hear the word Mulligan thrown around a lot. I think you're calling him a Mulligan for this. There's rumours of potential sickness throughout the camp. So, how true that is, we'll never know, but Melbourne was just better. So, and the fact that it was without Oliver, God, Viney's good when he's in that mood.
Oh, like when he gives that opportunity, he given that opportunity,
and like he doesn't
Doesn't need to.
Doesn't have to do it every week because if, as I said, you do that every week, your career's going to be like 2 years.
Yeah.
But jeepers, like they didn't miss Oliver when you got someone like doing that. So Petrarca, 28, butchered it a bit, but he was good.
He butchered a lot. He didn't butcher a bit. He butchered a lot.
But the scoreboard flattered Collingwood. So Melbourne deserved winners, and we were kind of waiting for this performance in Melbourne. They hadn't been great last few weeks. They were bad against Carlton. They lost to Freo. We're kind of waiting for his performance. So they've re-announced themselves. Not that we'd ever kind of doubted them being a premiership contender, but this was that the affirmation we needed.
Yeah, just getting their season back on track.
Yep.
I'm agreeing with you here. I think they found some chinks in the Collingwood arm, which I think everyone knew that there's a few chinks there, especially after the Brisbane game, using that half forward. But you got to have the skill to be able to execute it, and they showed that they do have the skill to execute it. How many times do they break centre bound stoppage and kick it to a half forward instead of just bombing it long? Mm-hmm. Every other side bombs it long. So just that lowering of the eyes, I don't think any other side can do it in the competition, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But Melbourne can, and they very good at that. They also, one thing that was really interesting, they did not at any point, or they did their absolute best to not make overlap for Collingwood. So every time they wouldn't go to the handball, they'd actually just hold back, and then they always hold their six very, very deep. Mm-hmm. So that does help with overlap footy. But they did everything possible not to help, to not create that overlap run that Collingwood want. So, but it's just interesting. They I'm not going to say it's something that's going to work against Collingwood, but they definitely tried some different things, I would say, to the modern game of football, which worked. I don't know that it'll work consistently. I don't know that any other side can do it apart from Melbourne. So, Melbourne back on track.
Yep.
I'd almost have them in my power rankings if I had to do my power rankings this week compared to last week. Brisbane would almost fall to 4. Well, Brisbane would fall to 4 and Melbourne would be up there in the top 2.
Brisbane now, yeah.
100%. Right. Some little stories.
You haven't got your winner.
Oh, my winner, Richmond.
Yeah.
Richmond.
I hate to say it, but that
I would almost put Fremantle as a loser, especially when you start talking about David King putting top 4 power rankings. Richmond were very good. They obviously came back in that. Well, they really come back in the fourth. They were up, weren't they?
It was a topsy-turvy game, but
it was goal for goal. But the back six looked strong again. I thought back six at the start of the year were going to be their best component of their team, most stable, and also played the longest together. But it's been a bit shaky this year, and I felt like it was solid and it was held up really well. Vlosten was very, very good. Mm-hmm. Bolton's been playing a lot more midfield time last month.
He is good. He is
very handy. Good. And Tim Taranto's hitting the scoreboard. So
8 goals in 3 games, 7 goals in 3 games.
Dynamic. They look really dynamic. I thought it was a bit harsh. There was a bit of some comments after the game by the commentators saying, should Dimmer, or there's a question asked that, should have Dimmer not been sacked, left a couple of weeks earlier, or 4 rounds in. I think that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, you can't be saying that. Like, a part of the reason that they've had this kind of resurgence is probably because Dimmer left.
Yep.
And maybe that's harsh to say on Dimmer, but no, I don't like this, that should Dimmer have really left, because I think a lot of this has come from McQualter hasn't really changed a lot, but he's definitely changed some positions. So you're seeing players go back to their old positions, which were with our premiership heroes in. Cochrane back to the midfield, Baker forward, Short back to defence. So,
but even if you change coach earlier, the coach would have still had to play a few more weeks those players in those roles to see if it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Like, he still would have the question mark of, I'm not sure if it does or doesn't work. At least you got the question mark answered. He goes back. The new coach comes in. He goes back to that formula and knows that one doesn't work. Let's go back to this formula. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit harsh. I mean, trial and error, and he just didn't quite work for him, which is fine. And to be honest with you, I think he just burned out.
Agreed.
Dusty looks good in his role.
He's looked good all year. He's been good all year.
So I'm not worried about. Not too worried with Richmond, but they are sneaky good.
Yeah, they probably won't make finals. They've kept themselves alive. I don't think they make the 8, but you haven't ruled them out just yet. You can't rule them out just yet.
I don't trust. The other thing, I don't put don't want too much stock in Brisbane. Sorry, not Brisbane, Dockers.
Yeah.
Like, I can't trust them. This is out their home ground.
Yeah. I
can't trust them. They seem to get bullied around the midfield.
It's hard to tell, was this a great Richmond win, or was it more just Freo aren't as good as we probably hyping up the last few weeks? It's hard to tell, but...
Well, I think it's the latter. I think Fremo's not bad, but they're not great.
So we'll soon realise. And I think Freya's had a big game this week, so we'll realise pretty quickly how big a win that Tigers one was. But they deserve to be a winner. They were very good. Anytime you go away from home and win like that, it's a good win.
100%. They won the road last week too.
Who played last week?
GWS.
Okay.
So that 2 road wins, that's handy.
Yeah.
That's very good. Stories of the week. Now, we have a group chat with all our mates in it. There's about 10 of us. 11.
Yep.
There you go. There's the stat. We have a general conversation after most games.
And during games.
And during games.
And most of it's me as an umpire complaining about umpiring decisions.
But there was some cracking performances, which I'll ask you later whose was the best performance individually. But there was also some cracking games and cracking performances. And this season, latter-wise, has probably been the closest and the best you'll see. And yet, what are we talking about in our group chats?
The umpiring and dangerous tackles.
This game, I am so annoyed that this is a focal point. And Footy Classified, On the Couch, all the footy shows, AFL 360, it's all about umpiring and the tribunal. It is destroying, in my opinion, what is and should be one of the best seasons that we've seen.
Yeah, I think you make a strong case about that.
September last year, Brad Scott left AFL boss or whatever, the footy manager or whatever you want to call it. And he was the one that managed umpires, managed what was going on, how the game looked and everything like that.
The rules and all that stuff, yeah.
And they've never replaced that. And this game now looks completely different to what it did 6 months ago. And not just 6 months ago, game to game. I could not tell you what is a free kick or not, game to game. And it is destroying the season that we are having.
It's requiring all this, like, obviously I understand that we're trying to change the way we look at head injuries. I get that. But this season is requiring someone coming out every week and justifying, discussing rule changes. But because we don't have anyone to do that, we're just left guessing every week. So that's half the problem is we're not getting... the only bit of information we're getting is Ray Chamberlain goes on SEN every second week. That's the only thing. So this year especially is calling for someone to come out and talk about this stuff, but we haven't got anyone to do it. So it is a thing that we're literally every week we're talking about. For example, this week it's Sicily. This week it's Ryan Mansell. We're talking about the MRP every week. We're not talking about how the D's just thrust up back into premiership contention. We're not talking about the Tigers defy the odds. I'm talking about or the Hawthorn beating a premiership contender. We're talking about bloody James Sicily getting suspended.
Yeah, and it's shit.
Of course it is.
It's shit. So, I mean, someone's going to... I know they're changing the boss too, so it's hard to appoint someone that may not want... The other boss may not want them.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like Gil McLaughlin may appoint someone that... Who's the person? Andrew Dillon doesn't want.
Yeah.
But this has got to happen quicker.
Yeah.
And there needs... Because, I mean, let's be honest here. The Ruck Lotto, who there was half a dozen... I know the Dogs game, and throughout the weekend, they went, what do you mean? What is that? How is that a free kick? And then you just see a blatant roundhouse in the ruck contest, in the forward half run contest, just throws their elbow and gets hit. It's like, well, that's just high. And yet it's not called, but yet this rough conduct gets called. It's like, I should have brought a pillow in today for you, Tommy, just in case you fell over and I had to put a pillow in your head.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, this is just shit. Let's be honest here.
It is. Yeah, it sucks.
Do you think with the tackle, do you reckon they should make it more gay league style that you have to wrestle for the ball? There's no ball ups. You start wrestling.
To wrestle for the ball?
So in gay league, they like 1v1 wrestle.
Do they?
They don't take each other to the ground. They wrestle in the air, like wrestle standing up, and then they steal the ball, and whoever wins that just goes instead of a ruckman. If that makes sense. Because then you don't have people push, slinging people to the ground. You get rid of the head contact.
Only thing is then they'd feel like they'd have to...
There'll be no more ruckman.
Yeah, they'd have to deck it with more force so the ball comes out. My only problem with that would be that the ball would just never come out.
100%, but at least you get rid of concussions. That's the only thing they give a shit about.
Would it though? Because I feel
Well,
like
you're not meant to tackle to ground. You're meant to. You're meant to like stand up and wrestle.
I guess I see it like I thought you were talking about almost like rugby union where like
No.
It's like a pylon and it's like well, I feel like players to tackle them harder because they want to try and dislodge the ball via tackle. So you're saying all that you're saying all that tackle on the ground. Get to that point, isn't it? Get to that point. But like the Butler one, glad Butler got off, but there was no sling motion in that at all, and he got sent straight to the tribunal.
And that's what he said. He's like, if I don't tackle him, if I don't put,
that comment,
I lose my job.
I put in the chat like they say anything you could have done differently. He said no, I would have got dropped if I did anything different.
What do you expect?
It was I think I don't know. I understand head injuries have to be like heavily have to be monitored, but sometimes it's just incidental.
You can't not stop the head. And the other thing, if you want to stop the head injury, then instead of say it's a dangerous tackle, let's just say if your head hits the ground, then you just get a free kick.
But then we're seeing players hit their head.
I know that, but at least there's no confusion about what's dangerous tackle and what's not, because there's half a dozen that do hit their head on the ground, and that could be considered dangerous to a person, and the other half aren't. So let's just make an action and let's just call it that. I know that then people would start diving their heads into the ground because they want a free kick, just like they stop protecting their head when they don't turn side on anymore to pick up the ball. Yeah. They just go head first and get hit in the head because they don't get weeks, because if you hit someone when you're side on, then you choose to bump, and 2, you get a free kick. I understand that would happen, but is that not what it should be? Instead of having this window or corridor of what would you call it?
There is a bit of a grey area.
It's 100% grey area. Dangerous tackle. What is it? Give me the definition of a dangerous tackle. Like, give me an.
Well, I always see it as a dumping motion. When I want to umpire my own games, I look for a second motion and a dumping motion, because the amount of times in my game, and this isn't in the AFL, thankfully, but the amount of times in junior footy and stuff, they get slung around and people think it's a sling tackle. Shut the fuck up. No, it's not. But that's not in the AFL. It's more of a junior footy issue. But yeah, there's different interpretations. Like, there's no way in hell you can call what Dan Butler did a dump tackle. It was just the fact that Blakey didn't know it was coming, so he hit his head. There was no sling there. So, what you said before about having a boss come out and talk about it is what we need, but we don't have. So, yeah, it's not ideal. But I guess short-term pain, long-term gain. They were hoping that getting through, there's going to be some unlucky players this year, but it's going to sort it out.
No.
No, it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
The bump we're starting to understand what a bad bump looks like now. No. Absolutely we are.
No.
You don't reckon that? You don't reckon by the end of this
year...
We're
not close. We are more confused now.
Still half season to go. There's going to be some unlucky boys, Fletch.
We're 12 games in, and we don't understand. We don't know, as a fan and as a player, if you ask the players off the record,
it's a new thing.
They would tell you, I don't know what the fuck I'm playing at.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I understand that.
We're 12 games in.
You can't eradicate
13 games in.
You can't eradicate it in a month, Fletch.
Yeah, I understand you can't eradicate the technique, but at least you know what you're looking for. What the hell are you looking for?
I understand this confusion. Even Longmuir came out and said there's a few. I've written examples during the week, and some of them he was like, I don't really understand. But I'm happy to cop short-term pain that we're going in the right direction.
It's not short-term though.
It's not going to take a month, so I'm going to be like.
It's not month. It's 3 now. We're at 3 months.
Yeah,
we're at 3.
It's a brand new thing, Fletch.
It's not a brand new thing.
The how much emphasis on the sling tackle is a new thing. Yeah, it is.
Oh. There's a new thing every week. It's
the
10-meter rule's gone.
Yeah, no, that's not ideal. We're losing rules, but I understand that the safety has to be. I
agree with that.
I understand the added emphasis on it, but yes, there are. Last thing we want to see is inconsistencies like Butler getting suspended. But then again, he got off, so yeah, we'll see. Like I'm following the Sicily thing as we talk, so I'm hoping that by the end of this podcast, we'll be able to give you that. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, though. I don't understand.
Look, I hope that you're right and that you kill one to save 1,000.
Yeah.
But we're killing 1,000 right now.
Yeah.
There's at least 3 or 4. Well, it's not unlucky. It's not 1 or 2 unlucky. Let's be honest here. We're at 1 a week.
But would you call them unlucky? Maybe the whole point we're going towards the point where they are going to get suspended.
Is James Sicily, if he gets suspended, is he unlucky?
Wouldn't know. He knocked the bloke out, Fletch.
Tell me yes or no. Do you reckon he should get weeks?
Yes.
All right then.
I do think he has to wait. 3 seems like a lot.
Do you think Brockman should get weeks?
Brockman, what the hell did he do?
He was in that. He hit him in the back of the head.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
The sling tackle hit Brockman. I wouldn't go about Brockman hit him.
But he got knocked out in the action.
Yeah, I get me. Hang on. Who was the one that tackled Johnson from Freo? Because that was almost worse than Sicily. Was it Jack Graham?
Oh, you just proved my point. Yes, and he didn't get weeks. He got nothing.
So that's what annoys me is that it's too focused on the thing. I mean, we talk about it every week, so we can't keep talking about it. Graham's one's almost worse than Sicily's one, and he didn't get a week for it.
You're just proving my inconsistency.
But I understand. But I just think that it's a process.
The process is fucked.
Yes.
Let's call it a spade a spade.
But Graham's one for me was a bigger sling tackle than Sicily's was. Yet Sicily's going to get the 3 weeks because of the injury. So that's what annoys me. Is I know we disagree on some parts. I do agree with you that it's too inconsistent for now. I'd rather them all cop it than half of them cop it.
The second thing is, this is going to affect the Brownlow at some point.
Yeah.
It's also going to affect someone playing a grand final.
To Goey right now, he's probably top 5 of the Brownlow. He at least top 10, and now he's been rubbed out.
Maybe.
But to be fair, can't compare his because he's deserved weeks. So
Yeah.
that's probably not an unfair comparison. Merit.
Yeah, Merritt's
Merit was
Do you
seen
reckon
as
now
pretty
it should be
harsh.
like, you can get 2 or 3 weeks?
Are you saying 1 week is
Like a
alright?
1 week suspension, you're right.
It's been
Considering,
talked about a lot because
Yeah.
it's going to cost. It's going to at some point it's going to cost the Brownlow.
and this is when you start saying, this is where I get frustrated. Because you're saying now, this player's done the wrong thing, so they should got weeks, and that's why you're now the best and fairest.
Yeah.
But now you're saying, 1 week, that's all right. Let's get him back into the best and fairest. You're not saying, sorry. You're contemplating maybe
Yeah.
saying if you get a 1 week suspension, it's all right because it's
Yeah.
you're just part of we're a bit of a kill. You're a bit of an education piece. Well, if someone's an education piece, they should not be getting 1 week because that is just bullshit in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll say it's become a raffle fletch. I feel about it every week, but it's every week it's a talking point. It's similar to Carlton. It's not a drive by Carlton there, but
That's the truth.
there you go.
It's pretty shit.
It is. It is.
So we'll see what Sicily. I've said in my opinion. I don't know that he should get weeks. I'm. You've got to protect the head. You've already said he should get weeks. You got to protect the head. Did he get concussed from the impact? Because to me, there wasn't that much impact in the, as you said, the Johnson one. There was a lot more impact if you were to do G-force or something like that. There would be a lot more impact in that one.
Yeah.
That one, his head was in a very awkward position.
Definitely wasn't as big a sling as the ones we've seen. Like you're right that it was more of an awkward one than a sling tackle. I'm following. There's a live update like blog thing, and they've got some like biomedicine person saying all this shit. I don't understand, but yeah, Hawthorne trying to argue that it came from Brockman. That wasn't the sling tackle. That the issue was Brockman, and that's out of their control. Whereas AFL trying to say that it was the tackle, that the force of it was the reason, not Brockman.
So that's harsh because it was not a forceful. I know there was sling with it, but it wasn't like a dumping of a
No.
broad. His head got in an awkward position. And
Yeah.
it didn't help that he hit his head on
Correct.
the ground. But like, if you're talking about the force that he pulled it down with, it wasn't much.
I agree.
So that's where I kind of go. Like,
No,
I
I
understand
agree.
weeks for the concussion, but then it wasn't a
It's
forceful
hard.
tackle.
I don't think it deserves. I think it deserves a week or 2, but not 3. But right now it's going to be 3 or none. It's not going to be 1 week. I think it deserves a week, not 3.
And that's the other shit thing. How the hell can you go from 3
To 0.
to none?
Yeah, it's going to be 3 or 0.
That's fucking stupid.
That makes no sense. But yeah, what's next?
That's it. That's with them. Best performances of the weekend. So we got Tex Walker 10. Tex Walker 10. That's a nice
Yeah,
little.
wow.
Rolls the tongue very well. Zach Butters, excellent Friday night game.
Again.
I think he kicked 1 goal and had 30 odd touches.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Taranto 2 and I think he had 30 odd, 33. And Bolton 15 in the last quarter really helped them to win that game late. I think he kicked a goal. That was it. Which one out of them are you saying is the best performance of
There's
the round?
one answer, and it's the Texan.
Really?
Yep. He kicks 10.
Yeah, I'm going.
10.
I'm going Zach Butters.
He could have kicked
Friday night.
15 at one point. Butters, I know Butters last on that list.
No way. He was so good on Friday.
Bolton's was better than Butters.
Bolton's last quarter was.
Game was on the line, man. It's important.
I know, but the whole game.
For me, it's Tex. Yes, it's West Coast, but maybe I'm buying to the theatre. Milestone game.
Yeah,
he was kicking 15 at one point. He had 6 in the first quarter.
Yeah, 6 in the first quarter.
So he could kick 15, and he was absolutely knackered. They targeted him 17 times, and it's something I want to talk about. I want to mention to you. We talk about Aaron Norton. Tex had 17 targets. Aaron Norton had 5. Aaron Norton's had 20 in 4 weeks, Fletch. Tex had 17 in one game. That's not telling you that Aaron Norton is becoming an issue or dogs are making Norton an issue. But I don't know why I brought the dogs up in this. But Texan, for me, it's just a fairy tale, isn't it?
They had a lot inside 50, so a lot of targets.
It was West Coast, I know. But it's just a Tex 10. Like, yeah.
It was very good. 250, very good for him.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take Zach Buckers. I like the theatre of him and Libra going at it. That was good.
Yeah,
made a bit of spice.
I wasn't able to watch. I was listening to that more than watching it. But yeah, nice.
Buy teams. Oh no, sorry. Hawthorn midfield. I'm going to talk about them. So, 100 more disposals. We know Brisbane's midfield. Who they got in there? Hugh McCulloch. Oh, no,
Dunkley,
Neil, Berry. Very good.
Rumour has it that Corey's held you at gunpoint to talk about Hawthorn here.
No, he hasn't.
I reckon he has. He's like, Fletcher, you better fucking talk about my Hawks, mate.
Well, I will, because it's fair enough, because they've been doing this a couple of weeks.
They deserve it.
They've been doing this a couple of weeks. They've done everything to get this stacked midfield, one of the best midfields in the COP. And they got 102 more disposals to Hawthorn. Win. 14 to 11 Hawthorn's way, centre clearances. So after a goal, the most important time to win a centre clearance, you got 666.
Mm-hmm.
They won them. Hawthorn won them. Not Brownlee medalist, not Josh Dunkley. Nah.
Fair enough.
Hawthorn won it.
Yes.
Plus 13 in contestant and plus 90 in uncontested disposals.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't just beat him on the outside. They beat him in the inside, which you'd say a Hawthorn team is quite skinny and quite young compared to a Brisbane side. So to me, this is an excellent win. It's been happening for weeks. I know they smashed the Dogs. The week before, they smashed, I forget who they versed. They smashed West Coast, but that's West Coast.
Port last week, as you said.
They got, in the first half, they got smashed, but second half, they looked very nice around the ball and actually matched with it. So these are teams that are Premiership top 4 teams, and they're matching with it around the ball. I didn't think they had that sort of talent. I didn't think they had that sort of talent.
Corey said this a lot. They, right now, statistically speaking, are a top 4 midfield in the comp, Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking.
And I didn't think they had the talent.
No, I don't think anyone did.
Incredible.
Newcomb's a gun. Warple's had a good year. Like they're doing it without these big household names. So fair play to them.
Cam McKenzie, he looked really good.
Yeah.
The blonde-haired guy, I forget what his name is.
I think that's Cam McKenzie, isn't it?
He looked really good in that fourth quarter as a half forward. Will Day looks incredible.
Yep.
So I didn't think what's his name? Sam Mitchell going to get through the rebuild, and he's going to get through the rebuild.
Yeah. Now I should have said this when we'll talk about Sicily, but I want to hear your thoughts on something. So obviously this is terrible timing. I should have said this when we'll talk about Sicily's suspension. I don't want to talk about whether he's going to get weeks. I want to talk to you about him. I don't know how to word it. Obviously, we admire. Obviously, he's one of the better intercept defenders in the comp, and we admire that he tends to play footy on the edge. And often in the past, he's got himself in hot water with the MRP because he's played footy on the edge, and we admire that about him because in a league that's becoming more and more not soft but more and more safe, he plays footy on the edge, and he's a player that you'd want to go into war with all the time. But if he gets 3 weeks now, he's going to miss 4 of the last 5 games. Now, for a captain of a footy club where they've got such little experience, can you afford to be missing 4 out of 5 games as a captain of a footy club?
No, but
it's
what does he change?
That's the thing, and that's what I wanted to mention.
It's not like he's punching blokes behind the ball.
And you can't tell a player to stop playing the edge because that's what makes him great. But there has to be some sort of thought in his head that I'm now captain of a footy club. I cannot afford to be getting myself suspended. And this one I think you can... This one will be stiff, he gets it. Like the fact that it wasn't a massive dump, but the St Kilda one deserved a week. That was stupid. He went past the footy to bump someone, deserved a week there. is gets himself suspended. And I just think being a captain, I'm not saying all of a sudden go all soft and stuff, because that's what makes him great, is he plays on the edge and he white line fever. But he's going to miss. He got suspended, missed a game. It's his first game back, and he's getting himself suspended for another 3 weeks.
Plus
and I just think a player we talk about how Hawthorn stripped bare with experience. I just think he needs to reconsider. This one is stiff. It's probably not great timing, because this one I don't think he wasn't unnecessary force. Unlike the St Kilda one was unnecessary, in my opinion. But he needs to watch it a little bit. He can't afford to keep getting suspended.
I feel like he has stripped it back a little bit, and now it's more lip and doesn't let it affect his play when the ball's in play.
That's probably fair.
Like, he lips a lot now, like he used to, but he doesn't get aggravated by that lip, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're right. He definitely was more ill-disciplined in previous years.
Yeah.
He'd give away 50s for fun.
Yeah, like even last
So
year,
you're probably right in saying that.
But I can't judge it.
It's a hard one.
I don't believe he should get 3 weeks.
And this one isn't one where you're like, oh, dickhead, why would he do that? It wasn't that rough.
It's Dan Butler's situation. What do you want me to do? Let him walk through and kick a goal?
So it wasn't like I think they said the St Kilda one where he walked past the footy and got him. It wasn't like the Nathan Broad one where unnecessary. DeGoey, unnecessary.
Yeah.
So it's probably not great time for me to say it after this, where this one just seems a bit more innocuous. But it's another suspension. He gets himself suspended a lot, man.
He created the reputation early in his career too, so you can start asking those questions.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes for the St Kilda one, but no for this one, because I
think you're right in saying that.
What do you do?
You can't tell him to stop playing on the edge, because that's why he's such a great leader, and that's why he's captain, and that's why he's one of the better players in the comp, because he does that. So yeah,
but he's on the edge.
I don't really know what I was trying to get from that, but I just wanted to put that on the agenda because we haven't heard anything about it. And as we've heard it from other players, that getting yourself suspended, seeing the likes of Zorko, like the players that the leaders of the club getting suspended.
Going past the ball, like you said with the St Kilda one, constantly and getting those suspensions, then I'll be saying, what the hell are you doing?
That's fair.
But the tackle, I'm like, you have to tackle.
It was innocuous, that one.
You have to tackle him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you have to tackle him. If he was going past him, choosing to bump, then I'm going, well, choose to tackle instead of choose to bump.
That's fair. Yeah, it's probably not great. Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying he shouldn't have tackled him like that, because that was an innocuous one. If he gets suspended, it's more unlucky than stupidity.
It's the education.
Correct.
The education.
So I just wanted to mention that. I saw about it at work, so I was like, I think it's worth noting, because I haven't heard anything about it. He does get suspended a bit, but there you go. Well, what's next, my friend?
Ranking the teams that have the bye.
Yeah. Letter grades.
Letter grades. We got a big one, so we'll just... You do the first one, I'll do the next one. You're going to do the... What do you call it? Like a biography? A little
snapshot of it. A little 1 minute summary of their season. So instead of both of us talking, one of us will talk and we'll both give a grade.
Exactly right. There you go. So you got Adelaide. Bang. Straight away. Oh, no, I'll take Adelaide because the Collingwood was next.
Okay.
So you do Adelaide, talent is shown. They have absolutely made the right decision to get Isaac Rankin. Didn't think it was, but he's proven me wrong. Richelli looks really good. Tex is back to what he was a couple of years ago. Looked like he barely moved a couple of years ago. Loud Fogarty keeps coming out. Phil Thorpe doesn't look... I'm not sure, but...
Well, I flagged him at the start of the year, and he hasn't come along just yet.
They definitely made the right decision in captaining Dawson. Laird looks really good. They've made the right decisions all over the field. Their coach slipped me for the moment. Matty Nix, I love him. I reckon he's system-based. His system's really good. Loving what he's doing in the back half. Not much talent or not much big names there, but he's figuring out a way and getting it done. So I'm really loving what they're doing. They've had some really good wins and some really poor losses, but with the young side, I think that's just what you get. And I can't wait to see what they do when they harness it. I can't remember where I had him or whereabouts I had him before the season started, so I'm going to go with about a B. I'm going to go with a B.
Wow.
B plus. I'm going to go with B plus.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone expected them to be in this position. I think they're 1 year ahead of schedule, in my opinion. So I'd have A minus. I think that people expect this next year. They're 7-6, but I think they played better than 7-6. I talked about a few weeks ago. Their first three losses were
peaks and troughs.
Yeah, their first three losses, they kicked themselves out of it. The last couple of losses were bad ones.
But then like the St Kilda on they've performed on a Friday and Saturday night. Smash Carlton.
The Carlton one was a big one. So for me, A minus. They're flying. The real question is, Can they continue this game style? It's a taxing game style. Can they continue this into finals? I'm not sure. I think they make finals. Do I think they win a final? Touch and go. But they will make finals.
Yep, love it. Collingwood.
Go Pies. We're cruising. Our 2 losses were to Melbourne and Brisbane. So you're not complaining with that. I think the best thing for me is our depth looks better this year. And I'm not saying we didn't have it last year, but we've got 30 players that should be playing. Like you look at our team now, you have to add Howe to it. You add DeGoey to it. You add Elliott to it. There's three players that walk into our side. And there's McStay is on decent money. He has to come in. We just have depth and the stats on our side, Fletch, that sides that are 11-1 or 10-1, only one side has made the prelim. Every other side has made the grand final or won it. And there's like 7 or 8 instances of that. That basically every side's made the grand final or won it. So Collingwood, based on that history, should be making the grand final. Do they? Who knows? Good position. I'm not complaining. I'm obviously a very, very happy man. So it's hard because I'm thinking a loss. It'd be close to an A, wouldn't it? Like it's been flawless. It's been flawless.
A+. I
think the fact we've lost to 2 contenders, maybe you're like, but you've lost a game. You lost games that you're not mad losing to. You're not like, oh, it's a shock loss to Kangaroos. So yeah, for me, A. Actually, sorry, you're right. A+. I had Collingwood finishing like 7th or 8th. So
the only
yeah,
loss
A+.
I can really think of that you should have is the Adelaide one.
Yeah, we should have lost that game, shouldn't we?
Like, really should have, but you didn't. So
and Adelaide Oval was not a bad loss this year.
No, that's what I mean.
So, yeah, actually, you're right. The fact you have to compare it based on what I had them start of the year. I had Collingwood finishing 7th.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
A+.
Yeah, A+.
No, thank you for that.
All right, Hawthorn. Show the kids. We're just talking about their midfield and the way they've stacked up all year. Lewis, I think Lewis Young. What's his name? Mitch Lewis. Didn't think he was that big of a deal.
He's good.
But since he come in, he's been fantastic. Rookie draft. He's looked great set of hands, knows where to be, and provides a real good option for them. I didn't know how they had this many good small forwards. Brockman, Moore. I knew Moore was good, but he's taking the next level. He's taking the next step again. They're showing some real young kids and some real talent. Yeah, didn't expect much from the start of the year, but I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to see this much promise so early. I thought it was going to be another year of fair bit of pain and a bit more culling. Well, not really culling, but just pain and drafting. Whereas I think they've, probably 12 months ahead of where I thought that would be, to be honest with you. So I'll probably give them a B because they've had some stinkers, but they still look good. I can't give them an A because you're not winning games.
It's a hard one because they started off so badly. So
right.
the real heat was on them early, and it's recency bias is the real thing. But all you wanted to see is I would love to know. I'd love to have Corey here and saying, did you expect to be 4 wins at the bye? I would love to know what Hawthorn fans thought about that. But for me, it's probably going to be as well. It'd be higher if they didn't start the year so badly. They were so bad early on.
Yeah.
All you're asking is they be competitive against good sides and show what you're building towards. And I think Sam Mitchell you can see what Hawthorn are building towards.
Definitely. You can see a brand.
It's B, close to B+. But for me, B is because their start of the year you can't ignore. They were terrible start of the year.
And they have. It's hard to give someone better than a B when you're losing.
When you're 4-9.
Yeah. All right, Essendon.
So honestly, I didn't even know who I had. I didn't want to say. Fletcher, who have I got while you're talking? Essendon. Exceeding expectations.
Oh, definitely.
Exceeding expectations. I don't think any Essendon fan think they'd be 8-5.
Oh, not at all.
I don't think anyone had them making finals. Bradshaw got them flying, and you're seeing the words "baby bombers" coming up a lot because it's their young stars are doing the business. Durham, Perkins, Hobbs. I'm missing a lot of names here, but they're flying. Cordwell. Mark's is screaming at me saying, "Tommy, missing an obvious one here." But yeah, Draper. It's hard not to love Draper. But no, they're 8-5. Now, most would say they're going to make finals. Their next month will decide it. So obviously we know they play West Coast and North again. Their next month is really tricky. So I didn't realise how tricky it was. I was listening to SEN on the way home today from uni. They play Freo in Perth. They play both Adelaide sides at home, though. They're playing both at home.
At Marvel.
Yep. And then Geelong Bulldogs. That's a tricky 5 weeks.
Split that, you're on your way to finals.
I don't think they have to split it. I think they have to win. There's 5 games there. I think if they can win...
Two minimum.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, 2. 'Cause I think
you can't get one.
No, you can't.
One makes it tricky.
But you do think their run home is Sydney at home, West Coast, North, Giants, and Collingwood. So if they win 2 of those, they're guaranteed finals, in my opinion. So they're flying. For me, it's B+. It's probably bordering on A-.
I'm going A-.
Yeah.
I thought the club was in absolute shambles. And you're only as good as your administration.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was in shambles, and that was bad. But they've proven me wrong. And Brad Scott is a very good coach.
My only thing it's probably not fair to judge on that is, does this game style stack up in finals? We found that his kick mark game style doesn't. But all you can based on right now is, are they exceeding expectation in the season? And they are absolutely doing that. So it's probably an A-.
This is a mid-season review.
Correct. It's not a predictor. It's not a predictor. Yeah. It's a mid-season. So, yep, A-.
Yep, I agree with that. Melbourne Football Club. I actually don't know what to say about them. Yes, no, good, maybe bad. I don't know. They're good. They have had a little bit of a patch of bad in the last couple of weeks, but they've got me back on side against Collingwood. They've had some really good wins, just some solid wins, because they're in the top 4 side, so they should be winning those games. But then a bad loss to Brisbane early in the season when the lights went out. Freo, and then they lost last week too to
Port
Adelaide. So they've had some losses that you'd like to see them win,
and they were dreadful against Carlton.
So it's a bit of an interesting one. Their challenges still lie with their forward line, and can they get 80 odd points, which they haven't really shown that they can in the last probably 6 weeks, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure where to put them. I had them as top 4 team, so I'm pretty much just going to go with the B-.
Yeah.
B-. I'm top 4, so they're top 4 now. They haven't really shown much more. They haven't fixed any problems with their forward line, but then their back 6 and midfield's still so good. So
same, B-. I think they've just exceeded expectation, which probably makes, if you say exceeded, if they've met expectation, you're probably saying to C. 9-4. I think last year they went 10-0, so they're peaking. So I like that the fact that they're trying things, and we knew that there'd be a bit of a trial period with this Grundy Gorn stuff. Again, recency bias comes with the play they did against Collingwood. Then it's been a great season, but the realities haven't done that. So for me, same B- to C+. So I'm probably going to say C+. I think we knew they'd be good, so they haven't really done a lot to tell us they have been any better.
And even little pickups like Chandler and then McVee off half-back and
They've
half-forward.
They've been good, yeah.
Did Spargo get injured or did he just get subbed out?
Subbed out. Just no good.
That's pretty good.
I agree with you. C+. They've done what we expect them to do. I do like that they're building. So I do like the fact that this feels like they're building. But you're right, their forward line is a serious issue, man. And to be fair, they had a lot of scoring shots this week, but they've had a lot of trouble scoring.
Yeah.
So
I don't trust.
No.
What's his name?
Van Ruin's been good. He looked good. Yeah.
Look good. But just don't trust.
Yeah, I agree.
Not enough football. The Weagles. Do we have to?
Should we skip him? Disgusting. F. Now, maybe F's harsh because they couldn't predict all his injuries, man.
Nah.
A lot of injuries, Fletch. Yeah, I'm going to be nice. D-.
F.
Fletcher, name me a club that could deal with 24 injuries.
No one. But I'm telling you, were they fit enough at the start of the year why are these injuries happening?
Sometimes it's a freak accident, man.
20 freak accidents?
If Collingwood had 24 players to pick from this week, like
I totally agree.
Collingwood would be just as shit.
Totally agree. But there's got to be some point of this where you start saying, hang on, this is not a one-off. This has been happening for 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
So there's got to be at some point that actually maybe there's something going on and there's a reason why there's so many injuries.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the other thing, I didn't expect much from, but they have not made the move to say we're rebuilding. They've still got high-paying players, Shuey, Gaff, McGovern, Hearn, Brass.
Brass you keep. I wouldn't put Brass in there.
And then he's still on a lot of money though.
Yeah, but he's good.
He's good. And also Nick Nui. And Jack Darling.
Yeah, I
and Liam Ryan.
I feel them will leave.
But they haven't openly. They haven't. Not that should be said.
some
They shouldn't shop everyone. But
a few will go.
I don't think they're totally on board of rebuilding.
Well, they have to at this point. I don't think West Coast deserve Adam Simpson. I think he's too good a coach to be still there. And it sucks to see him like that because while he ruined my life in 2018, he's a very good coach. For me, D- just because of the injuries. I understand what you're getting at. Any club in the AFL is in their position. What I am concerned about is they should be what we view Hawthorn as a little bit better than the bottom two. Right now, I view Hawthorn as better than Kangaroos and Eagles. I think the Eagles should be viewed as better than Hawthorn and Kangaroos.
Especially when your salary cap is maxed.
So, yeah, D- for me, just because of injuries. But, yeah, performance-wise, it's an F. But D- because of injuries. Are you on F?
I'm going F, 100%. I totally agree with the injuries. No other club would be able to...
No club.
No club.
No
no.
club.
But this is not a once-off. This happened last year, and it happened the year before. This is not a once-off.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, it's actually becoming the meme. It's not an outlier.
Yeah.
It's becoming the meme.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
That's fair.
All right. Do you want to do tips or Supercoach?
Tips. When on Supercoach again?
Big Friday night game. Port.
Thursday.
Oh, shit.
I don't know how good Thursday night footy.
Geelong, Port Adelaide.
Why is it 7:40? That's
Dunno.
weird. You should be 7:10. But I guess it's 7:10 in Adelaide.
Adelaide, they're half an hour behind us at 7:10 for Adelaide.
Correct. That's what I said, my friend.
Sorry.
Glad you're listening.
I don't give a fuck about what you say, mate.
It's just weird. Thursday night should be 7:10. Friday night should be 7:10 as well. So, or 7:20.
Who you going?
Port. Danger and Duncan back. Port. Ride the wave, boys. I'm a Port man. The pair. No, I backed him at the start of the year. Don't at
You're
me.
meant to hate him because
Receipts.
you're Collingwood.
Yeah, no, receipts. I wouldn't mind Geelong winning, though. Helps Collingwood. But no, Port.
Brisbane.
You didn't tip.
Port. Sorry.
So you go get me to Port and you tip Port yourself.
No, having crack.
And me liking Port.
Yeah, because you're Collingwood, so they're
the prison bar, the wankers.
Well, they're the Magpies in the Sandford.
Fake pricks. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Friday night, 7:10. Traditional for you or not really?
What's it? 7:50, mate.
7:50. Sorry.
You're falling apart, mate. A couple of hours of recording.
Is that traditional enough for you, or you?
No, it has to be. It can't be 7:50 Friday night. No, it cannot be. You
it
cannot convince me. 7:10 or 7:20. Nothing you could say could convince me that we should be 7:50 on a Friday.
I don't know why it makes a fucking difference.
Mate, why would we need to wait till... Only reason why it's 7:50 is because Better Homes and Gardens needed to be on beforehand. And that's not a lie. So why would we need to wait till 7:50? Kids want to watch the game. They want to they need to go to bed at a reasonable hour. Give me a reason why it should be 7:50 other than the fact that you don't like change. Tell me.
I'm picking Brisbane this game. I don't give a fuck.
Brisbane. I don't want to wait till 7:50. Brisbane, yeah. Easy.
Now, no Jew. No Jew.
Oh, yeah. There's no kicking a Jew. The Resies will be playing there.
There's no Reses or 19s happening. It's just straight into seniors. Yeah. Giants versus Fremantle at the Giants Stadium. Don't even have a sponsor. What the hell? 7. Fucking hell.
You are seriously falling apart.
4:35.
Freo.
Yeah, Freo. I wouldn't be surprised. That's going to be upset for the week. Right there.
No. You can't say, I want Freo. I think Freo, but I wouldn't be surprised. Upset of the week. Are you tipping the Giants? Is this your upset or not?
Yeah, I'll tip the Giants then.
Okay, so this is your upset of the week. You can't say, this next game. I'm going to tip St Kilda, but I reckon Richmond might win. No, that's not how it works. Tip one.
Fremantle might win, not Richmond.
Okay. Richmond Saints?
Richmond Saints. Who you got?
I'm going to try and go to this, by the way. FYI, Will and Dan, I'm going to ask you to go to the footy on Saturday. Yeah, I don't know either. Richmond. Incoming text. We're ready for it. Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond. Carlton, Gold Coast.
But that's Maddie's match. That's really cool. That's Maddie's match. That's
purple. That'd be good to go to that.
Yeah, that's what I want to go.
That'd be a good performance.
Might get sold out by the time
Nah, St Kilda doesn't worry about it.
Yeah, St Kilda don't sell out.
It's a Richmond home game though.
Yeah, they sell. They
do sell.
They bring the fans.
Will Carpenter.
Yeah, it goes about one game a year.
Carlton, Gold Coast.
I am going to tip Carlton every single week till they eventually win. I'm doing Carlton. Plus, I don't care.
Gold Coast. Gold Coast win.
I hope so. I'm going to tip Carlton every week until they win one.
Does Michael Voss have a job if Gold Coast win?
Yep. Yeah.
Probably, but
They have.
Hurry up.
There's no point sacking him. They
I
sack
know,
everyone
I know.
else.
North Melbourne Western Bulldogs.
No one? Nah, Dogs.
Cover Dogs, please, surely.
Although,
Get your season back on track.
Dogs by a long way.
I hope so.
They're a feast.
It's a danger, but
No, they're a feast.
I'm pessimistic about this one.
You pessimistic about the Dogs in general, mate.
Fair enough to be pessimistic about them.
Yeah. They keep letting you down.
They were good. They were good Friday night, but they
build
can't
you up
score
and-
for shit.
Build you up and they'll let you down.
It's more frustrating the fact that they actually against Port Adelaide, who I rate as a very good side, they were in the game. They were with them,
Yeah, they were.
and they can't score. So
Yeah.
that's their problem.
They were.
I hope they go more attacking, a bit more corridor footy,
Okay,
please.
Fair enough.
Supercoach, do you want to talk about it? Not really.
Oh, I have to. We keep it accountable. Yeah, this is a sad one.
You didn't even score that bad.
No, it wasn't good though. I dropped 1,700 spots in rank from 4K. I was on here last week saying I'm on the up, boys. And every week, what happens is I've been around the 4 to 5K range for about 2 months. I go from 5K slowly up to 4, and then I go back down to 5. I scored 2,032, and what it's cost me? Rory led. So I was here last week saying Clayton Oliver. Well, Goodwin came out and said he's a guaranteed starter. Guarantee to play. Now, obviously, we didn't expect him
Dirty
to
old Oliver to not wash himself.
Yeah, doesn't take showers and gets his foot infected. I still don't regret the decision because we couldn't anticipate he showers once a week. To be fair, he looks like he showers once a week. He looks so dirty. Ken Foopi though.
Yeah, very good.
He has a girlfriend because he plays footy. Let's be honest. Look, that's me talking like I don't look like I've got a half-sucked mango for a head. But anyway, not only does Oliver not play, Laird plays incredibly well. Scores 160. Not only do I not have Laird captain like most people would have, I don't have him at all. So that cooked me. And then Brayshaw, who's my captain, 95, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. He's at score 130. That minimises the danger. He has a 5-point last quarter, scores 100. And I didn't even check Supercoach after that. I gave up. Shit week. So Supercoach sucks. I'm in a good spot though. I've got 12 trades left. 20 players playing this week. Honestly, might not trade again, to be honest. So basically, my team will be done around 17, I reckon. Because I've got a bunch of guys. I've got a lot of money in them, but I want to wait until they finish. They stop playing next week. So, yeah, 5.7k is an ideal. But I'm not in a bad spot. But yeah, Clinton Oliver doesn't play next week, I swear to God. I might send him a harshly written message in his DMs.
Surely.
I'm not one of those people, by the way. But yeah. Fletcher, I'm looking at your score now, backwards. It was a lot more than me.
My score was very good. Now, I scored 2,184.
That's a good week.
So that's I would say it's good for 18 players.
Did you have 18?
Yeah.
Oh, so, wait,
no. It takes 18 scores, doesn't it?
Total, yeah. Yeah, it's a good week. Yeah, it's absolutely
That's
good.
what I was asking. Is that number your 18 scores? Or is that number your whole team and then they get your 18 scores from that?
What happens is if you have 21 players, they eliminate your 3 worst scores.
So, but that's not 21. That's
18.
That's 18.
That's 18.
Okay, because that's I would say it's a good week for me. Normal, like
It's a good week, yeah, for sure. Absolutely a good week.
I went up 3k.
Yeah.
So I'm only at 21k now. I've kind of like once I had a couple of bad weeks, fell, and now you can't get back up. Like it's just done. So I'm just playing for good scores now. Really interesting. I've got 18 this week, and I've got 20 playing this week, I think. So I've got enough, but I kind of want to trade one out early to start moving the magnets to start completing my side.
That's what I'm going to do this week if I do anything.
But I can't. Like I still need a few more cashes, a few more weeks to get the money. So I've got to work out where I'm sitting for the next couple of weeks, and in terms of buys and how I look, to maybe hopefully help myself, just so that I can complete my side a bit better, knowing I have 18 and a few more weeks. So that's gonna be really an interesting one to dive into that. Can't wait for some people to finish off their money making. Humphreys, Briggs, loving it. Ford, Wardlaw, just can't wait for them to keep finishing.
How many you got this week?
Playing? 20.
20, yes, so do I.
So I've got plenty playing. So I want to kind of maybe help that. So I have 18 in the next couple of weeks.
That's
I'm
making
not sure
me,
what I got.
Yeah, I should have done the maths before I got here. But my plan is to count how I got next week because 20 this week is the easier week. It's still a tricky one. So 20 is very good this week, but next week's the one. So I'm not ruling out potentially trading a Chincotta this week.
Yeah.
costing myself one player, having 19, but if it makes it difference next week.
Yep.
So for me, luckily, I've still got 2 boosts left, so I can make 4 trades next week anyway, and I already know I'm making Briggs to Cameron. That's already locked in. So I'm not ruling out potentially trading a Ford. Ford's got a lot of money to make, so it'd probably be a Chincotta. But, I think these Briggs and Weddells and Mitchells and Fords and Wardlaws, they've saved us. We now have the money to finish our teams, which we weren't sure we would.
The big one also I'm sweating on now is obviously Sicily. So I've got Sicily on my side. If he misses this week, obviously that won't count as he's got the bye round this week. And then it's straight from there. I can't have...
Still nothing on Sicily, by the way.
I can't have... He's at 650. I can't have that.
No. If he's out, you trade him. You cannot afford it. And who would trade him to? Mitch, Stuart? You got Stuart already?
I've got Stuart. I've got Dacos. I've got Sinclair. And I've got Dawson.
You've already got the 4 best ones.
So I don't know because there's not many other... There's not many backs.
You'd probably go a little bit pod.
That's what I'm thinking. So that'll be quite exciting, actually. That'll be interesting.
That'd be a fun trade to do, but obviously you'd rather him in.
I'd rather him in for the safety.
Let me see if there's any who the best. Caleb Daniel? He's flying.
Yeah.
And it'd be fun to own. It'd be fun to own a player from your team. He is currently, based on average, so Dacos 1, Dawson 2, Sicily 3, Stuart 4, you got them. Luke Ryan's 500k, but he's very up and down. Daniel's the 6th ranked on average. He's probably the one. He's 600k. He's flying.
He's flying.
So I think, as I said,
the only problem is I buy high then. I'm buying high.
Problem is he has the buy next week, so you have to rule him out.
That's another one.
Luke Ryan's probably the one. He's already had the buy. Doherty? Oh, he has the buy next week. Houston has the buy next week. Lawson has the buy next week. Yeah. The one is probably Redmond. It's probably Redmond or Ryan. Neither of those jump at me.
No.
But you can't wait 2 weeks to get rid of Sicily. If he's out this week, you get rid of him. So yeah, we'll see.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yep.
You'd have to trade someone. You wouldn't bring in someone who has a bye next week. You can't. So it'd be someone like a Ryan or a Redmond who's playing next week. Problem is Redmond's not playing this week. So would you cop the hit this week to have him next week?
But then I might as well cop the hit for a Caleb Daniel.
Yeah, true. You're right, because they're both playing one game. You're right. So you'd either get Ryan in and cop both games, or you'd take the hit and get...
I don't even know my numbers either.
Daniel would be more fun.
I don't know my numbers for next week or this week.
Yeah,
so
you have to do that. I was on the spot question, but we were hoping that Sicily would have an answer. Would have an answer on Sicily by the end of this podcast. We don't.
9 o'clock, we still have an answer.
All I've read is basically the Hawks are trying to say that the force and the tackle doesn't warrant a suspension. They're trying to say that it's only because of Brockman. So we've talked about it long enough, but unfortunately we can't break it. I was live on the podcast, like they're listening to it right now. But so
it's a good round of footy. Liked it.
It was.
Let's get off the travel. We said it. We don't like talking about
footy. Was
great. I advised Bontempelli actually.
Yes.
And some people, Brody and Luke, they advised Bontempelli too.
Yeah.
And they went and captained Laird and Dunkley.
It's a crime that works.
It's ballsy.
No, I hate it. It's not fair.
125.
That's just bad super coach, but it worked.
Reward.
Saying that while I have Brayshaw 106, or to fair, my VC was 100. So I had no decision. That was an obvious decision. 125 should be taking that, but it worked for him.
What a risk.
But great round of footy.
Loved it.
And looking forward to next week, all Australian sides.
Yep. Get ready for that. Separate pod. It won't be in the NBA pod.
It'll be a different one. We don't know whether we're going to do it all at once or split up into 2. We'll see how we want to structure it. But that's exciting. We won't spend as long because we want to dedicate like a big episode at the end of the year to it.
Give me one name.
The tribunal's now deliberating, so we can't stall for...
That'll take a long time.
That'll take a long time, so we can't stall.
Just to go, give me one name out of the blue that will make it. Maybe a first timer or someone that's been a couple of years out of it.
Tim Taranto has to be at least on the bench.
Ooh, like that.
But I don't want to say that now because now I might not pick him.
Yeah, I know.
But right now he's in the top 30 right now. So he is one that's very much. I'm trying to think of anyone else.
Like
Mason Wood. Oh, Nick Martin. Nick Martin will be in my side. Nick Martin on the wing. Are we picking wingers? He will be in my side.
We talked about this at the start of the year. Last year, also. I said you've got to pick wingers.
Well, this year there's been some really good ones. This year, I think, more than previous years. Nick Martin will be my side. That's probably a spoiler. He will be my side.
Like that. Good.
Anyone else for you?
No, that's why I questioned you because I don't really have one.
Nick Martin. Dacos has kind of dropped off. Wood's kind of dropped off. Nick Martin will be my side. I can confirm that right now.
I like that because a genuine winger too.
He had 30 yesterday. He's flying. So, but it's always good fun doing that. So yeah.
All right, another good episode. They're still deliberating, so we're not gonna.
Yeah, we can't stall any longer.
We can't really stall much longer.
But yeah,
Good
we'll
ep.
see.
And I can't wait for the next round to come up.
Yep.
Another good round.
As you always say, Fletcher, tell a friend, tell a stranger, especially tell a stranger.
Okay.
And we'll have to get someone on next few weeks. Get someone different, Get a Marcus back on, or get a Corey. Get someone on, I reckon, just to spice things up. And as we said in the NBA one, we'll get Riley on soon too. So Riley, hello from Australia if you're listening. But we'll get Riley on too.
Another great episode. Not bad from yourself, and very good
You
from me.
weren't too bad either. I was BOG though. So.
Oh, get stuff. Thanks for listening. Rate, like, subscribe. Check out the socials. Tell a friend.
Goodbye.
There's your checklist for the week.
Checklist.
See ya.
See ya.